Dear friend, I've been reflecting on why we create, especially in a world where so much of what we see on YouTube, educational sites, almost everywhere, is focused on gear, tech, and techniques. There is a constant flood of reviews, updates, best settings, gimbal tricks, drone shots, and the latest editing software. And yet, so little is said about the core of creating: the storytelling, the planning, finding your purpose. Rarely do we see content on scripting, storyboarding, or digging into the question of why we're making something in the first place. For a long time, I was caught up in that world too. I'd dive into projects without thinking too much about what I wanted to say. I was driven by excitement, by the urge to create, and I'd focus on making things look polished and professional. But over time, I began to feel something was missing. My work looked good on the surface, but it didn't have the depth or meaning I wanted. And that's when I began asking myself, what is my reason for creating? Once I started focusing on this question, on my why, everything changed. Each project started with intention, not just excitement. I wanted to tell stories, to make something that would resonate with others, even if only one person saw it. I realized that finding purpose brought a new kind of satisfaction to my work. It became less about making things that just looked good and more about making things that felt real. This purpose became a kind of guide. It helped me stay focused and allowed me to stop chasing after every trend or technique. The technical side is still important, of course, but it became clear that without a story, without a purpose, it was all just surface. And the surprising thing is, when you create with intention, every tool, every trick becomes more meaningful because you're using it in service of something bigger. There's also that creative itch we all have, the drive to just make things. It's natural. It's the artist's need to express. But I think there's a way to balance that urge with purpose, a way to use that raw energy to make something valuable, something that matters. In that balance, we find the space to create for ourselves while also making something that others can connect to. I wanted to share this with you because I think you'd understand. It's a reminder to both of us that creating with purpose is more fulfilling than creating for the sake of it. That the best work we do will always come from a clear understanding of what we want to say and why. So here's to staying true to our why. Let's keep making things that matter, things that might leave a mark, however small. And let's remind ourselves that while the tools and techniques are fun, it's the story, the intention behind each project that makes it all worthwhile. All the best. Sean.